Hey, what's up everyone? So today's video is going to be a little bit different from the others. I bought a 2010 R1 a few weeks ago, and I've always wanted to have one of the Toce slash exhaust on there, and the bike that I bought didn't have that exhaust on it, so I'm going to be swapping it out for that one, and I'm going to do the ECU flash at the same time. So what I thought I'd do is just do a bit of a before and after video, just I don't know, for myself really, just to see the difference between the exhaust that's on there at the moment and how it's going to sound afterwards with a new Toce one on there. So I'm pretty sure there's loads of videos on YouTube already about this sort of stuff, but I thought I'd just mainly do it for myself so that it's just a bit of a memory. I do a fair amount of stuff in my life and never have any real videos or pictures, so I thought, you know, I may as well just take some footage of it and just have it as a bit of a memory and a record. Here's the bike. As you can see, it's in pretty decent condition. It's 2010, like I say. It's got just under 3,000 miles on it, so it's hardly been used at all. It's in nice condition. It's been looked after pretty well. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a bike that I've wanted for a long time. So I'll be selling the R6 and keeping the R1 and just kind of swapping them out really for a different one. I've been looking for a low mileage this kind of model between a 2009 2014 model R1 for a long time, and just never really found something that I wanted to trade, or not trade, but like swap out the R6 for, because the R6 is pretty nice, but I've always wanted this and just wanted to make sure that what I did have was actually a nice, good quality one. So what I'm going to do now is just do some kind of footage of revving the engine, just to see the tone of the bike. It's got a Two Brothers Racing Black Series exhaust on at the moment, so it's got a proper aftermarket exhaust on there, and it sounds great, to be honest. But for me, the Toce exhaust is just like the ultimate kind of look for this bike. The way that it kind of lines up with the tail section and everything, so I really like how that looks, and it's something that I've wanted for a long time. So today's going to be the time that I can start that process of getting the ECU off and getting the other exhaust off, and then sending it out to get the ECU flashed, and then get the new exhaust back and put that on. And then at some point I'll obviously have to look at selling Two Brothers exhaust as well. So yeah, let's roll some of the footage of how the exhaust sounds now. So that's what the Two Brothers exhaust sounds like. It's time to get back to the house and start taking this exhaust off. The exhaust that I've gone for from the Toce system is only really going to be from the cat back. I haven't done the cat swap out or the cat delete section, so it shouldn't be too hard to get off really. I mean, I have looked under there briefly and seen that there is a bit of rust and whatever, which is just natural from a bike, but you know, it is what it is. It shouldn't be too hard to get off. Obviously I'll wait for it to cool down before I start working on it. Okay, so next thing on the list is to get the ECU off, which I believe is just under this cowl here, under this left hand side fairing. So yep, let's get it off, and then I can get it shipped away to Toce and get them to do the ECU flash, and from there it's going to be time to get the Two Brothers exhaust off. Okay, so now I've got this left hand side fairing off. It's time to get the ECU off here. Now, looks like obviously there's some ballast for the headlights that are glued on or taped onto the ECU, so gonna have to get that off first and then get this ECU off. So pretty sure shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's probably double-sided tape onto there or something like that, or Velcro or something along them lines. But yeah, need to get this off first and then we can get the ECU off and get it sent away. So this obviously just popped off pretty nicely. So next thing, all I'm going to do is actually undo some of these old zip ties on here, because as you can see, the whoever put them on has left a horrible tail on there, really for someone else to go and cut themselves on. So I'm going to get rid of some of these old these zip ties and get this all out of the way, and then be able to get this ECU off and yeah, get it finished. Get this part finished off anyway. So when this ECU is going to be sent out, there's obviously going to be nothing really to hold this the ballast for these for the headlights on. I think that's what they're for anyway. So yeah, so there's nothing going to be here to actually hold these up. So going to do something that I've seen done a few times, and get a little bit of welding rod and kind of make a hook out of it and just kind of hang it from the fairing here, so that it's not actually hanging on the wiring, so that when we actually put the bike back together, there's not been any tension with this kind of hanging on any of the wires or anything. Now there's no real weight to this, to be honest. With this being all professionally made, it probably won't damage anything, but it's probably just good practice to actually just kind of support it, so there's no potential damage of any wires being just strained or anything like that. So yeah, that's the next thing I'm going to do here. Alright, next thing, just got to get this ECU off, and yeah, it shouldn't be too hard really. It's just to be this two connectors here, and then there's nothing else really holding it in, just these plastic tabs that just kind of hold it in. So yeah, let's get this off. Alright, there we go. As you can see, it was a little bit tricky, which is honestly a bit of a positive sign really. I'd rather see electrical connectors be a little bit tight and tricky to get off, because that means that they haven't been off very much or even at all. So you can be confident that no one's really been messing with it too much when these sorts of things are tight and, you know, not easy to get off. So in my mind, when it's something like that, it's kind of a positive that it's pretty tricky to get off. So next thing I'm going to do is, you can see the kind of double-sided foam tape has just left a bit on there when I pulled the ballast off. So before I send it out, I'd rather send it out where I'm going to actually get it back ready to just go straight back onto the bike. So I'll just take a couple of minutes now to get this off here, give it a bit of a wipe, and then I can get it boxed up and get it sent out to Toce. So this here is just a little pot of isopropyl alcohol. It's like brake clean or something like that. It's just helpful for getting this type of stuff off and getting it clean. Be useful for welding and stuff like that as well. So yeah, it's just helpful to have around in the garage. So sometimes you want to be able to use like a screwdriver or something like that to help you kind of get this sort of stuff off. Now, one thing that when you are doing something like this is you ideally don't want a screwdriver that's sharp, because if it's sharp, you got a lot more chance of actually scratching what you're working on. So you want something with a bit more of a kind of a rounded end on it, so that it's gonna not dig into the actual the bit that you're actually trying to get something off of. So yeah, if you are going to be doing something like this, then just try and make sure that what the screwdriver that you're using is not too new, I guess, if you want to call it that, and is not sharp and got any sharp edges on it. Alright, so there we have it. Got the foam off, give it a little wipe, and yeah, it's ready to go. Okay, so I'm sure that most people will think of this anyway, but just in case it's something that you hadn't thought about when you're going to go to do something like the ECU flash. Now, it's always good practice whenever you're sending out something like this that's yours to actually take a picture of the serial number or the ID number or whatever number that's on the actual ECU or whatever it is that you're sending out. And look for any kind of identifying marks that might be on there, any scratches or anything like that, just so that when you do send it away, you know that what you're getting back is the same. Now, obviously, there's no way to know the internals if they're the same, but with something like this that's a sealed unit, then you can be pretty much sure that if what you're getting back is actually yours. If it's got the same sticker on it, if it's got any kind of strange marks in certain areas, or the wear marks are the same, or anything like that. Okay, so got the ECU off and got that sent away to be shipped out. Should be there in a few days, hopefully, with the guys at Toce. So now it's time to get this Two Brothers exhaust off. Hopefully, anyway, it shouldn't be too hard. I've put a bit of WD-40 on the clamps already, so hopefully that's worked and it's loosened everything up a little bit. But we'll see how this goes. Who knows what it's gonna be like when it comes to getting this thing loose and getting it off. So I'm gonna give the clamps a go first and see how we get on. Hopefully it comes loose pretty quick, and yeah, we'll go from there. Well, thankfully, I think the WD-40 must have done some work there, because it was pretty easy, to be honest. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. So thankfully I put some WD-40 on there and got them loosened up a little bit. It was only a little bit. As soon as the first crack went, then yeah, it was pretty easy. So now just going to get the rest of these covers and brackets off and whatever else, and hopefully it shouldn't be too bad and should come off relatively easy. So let's get it done. So I've taken the seat off and the rear seat cowl off, because I thought that I was hoping that I'd be able to get to the mount for the exhaust under there, but seemingly it's actually right under here. So it looks like I'm going to have to get that off so I can get to the mount. That's going to be the next job here. This piece off now. It was a little bit fiddly just to try and get it into the right position, just because I didn't really know exactly how it came off, but all the clips and everything came off pretty easy, which was nice. Managed to expose these two bolts now, so that's going to be the next thing, to get these off, and then hopefully these exhausts should just hopefully pull out. So let's see how we get on with that. Well, they came off pretty easily, to be honest. It was, the whole process so far has been much easier than I thought it would be. I think some of it is down to the fact that I put the WD-40 on there from the start and got everything lubed up and freed it all up in case it was kind of rusty. But next, I just want to take this cowl off for now. It looks like it should be pretty simple, just to unhook it and get it off and get it out of the way. So when the new exhaust does come, I can just get it in there nice, easy. And what it will also do is allow me to have a look inside the electronics here and clean it all up and have a good look around and make sure it's okay. And to be honest, I think I need a new battery for this. It's a little bit slow when I do an initial crank, so it's probably best to just put a new battery on it anyway, and it'll be easier without this kind of flapping around. So yep, let's get that off, and then we'll be ready for the new stuff to arrive. Well, yeah, that's definitely designed to come off pretty easily. So yeah, it just kind of pops straight off. All right, that's it for now. Now I need to wait for the ECU flash to be completed and to be sent back, and that will come back with the new exhaust. I'm really looking forward to that. So this has been the bike and the exhaust style that I've been wanting for a long time. So I can't wait to get it on the bike. I'm sure anyone that knows about the R1 and the Toce slash exhaust knows exactly what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling and how excited I should be. So yep, that's going to be it for this video, and we'll continue this when the new bits arrive. Cheers.